Hi, my name is Amy Herman and I am the author of smART, Use Your Eyes to Boost Your Brain. And I hope you'll join me today as I read part of chapter 1 and show you, by opening your eyes and thinking about using your brain in a different way, how smart you can really be. Chapter 1, Your Brain is Magic. The human brain is a mystery and a marvel, and maybe a little bit magical. It tells our bodies what to do consciously and unconsciously. It stores our thoughts and memories and regulates our emotions, and every once in a while comes up with really great ideas, like antibiotics or waffle cones. And here's a picture of the brain. Much like when you practice baseball or the piano, every time you use your brain, you're improving it. Scientists used to believe that the brain you were born with was the brain that you were stuck with, and that some people were just born with smarter brains. But as people live longer, healthier lives, and technology advanced, scientists were able to learn more about the human brain, and they discovered some startling things, such as that the brain can heal itself, or that it can make new pathways and rewire connections, and that it never stops growing. The brain's ability to adapt and change is called plasticity. We can improve our brain's function at any time in our lives, for all of our lives. The more you engage your brain, the quicker, smarter, and more powerful it will be. Which is helpful not just for your future, getting a job or following your passion, but also in the present. A better, faster brain can help you right now. It can help you do better in school, have better friendships, be a better judge of situations, and negotiate better deals with the adults in your life, like later bedtimes or a larger allowance. A better, faster brain can help you keep you safe, help you solve difficult problems, and help you see what everyone else may have missed. Now I'm going to talk about brainy kids. In 1905, an 11-year-old named Frank Epperson was in his San Francisco backyard making his favorite drink, flavored powder stirred into water, when his mother called him inside. He set his cup down and forgot all about it. There was a cold frost overnight, and the next morning, Frank found his cup had completely frozen, the stirring stick standing straight up in the colored ice. He tipped the cup upside down, removed it, held the stick, and licked the deliciously fruity icicle. He realized other kids might like to do the same, so he intentionally began freezing his flavored water in small cups with sticks and called them Epsicles. Today, the company he started sells over 2 billion popsicles a year. When Hannah Taylor was 5 years old, she saw something countless other people had seen before her, a homeless man eating out of a trash can. Instead of just shrugging it off, though, Hannah decided to do something about it. 3 years later, she founded the Ladybug Foundation to raise awareness and funds for the homeless community, speaking to crowds of 16,000 people at a time, and so far she's raised $2 million to help the cause. When 12-year-old Jessica Maple's grandmother's house was robbed, she was told by police that since they found no signs of forced entry, the burglar was someone who had used a key to get in. Jessica did her own detective work, though, and discovered a broken window and fingerprints the police had missed in the attached garage. She then thought about what the criminals would do with the stuff they stole and decided they might try to sell it for money. She visited a local pawn shop and found some of her grandmother's belongings there. When she told the police, they were able to interview the shop owner about who had sold the items, and the suspects were arrested. What did all these kids have in common? They all saw something that everyone else missed. Want to be the hero in your own life, for your family, and for your community? You don't need superpowers, just a supercharged brain. Supercharging your brain is easy, and anyone, I mean anyone, can do it. It doesn't matter where you go to school or how many books you've read. It doesn't involve memorizing or math. All it takes to increase your brain's capacity for thinking and problem solving, to help you become the next inventor or crime solver or great humanitarian, is 3 steps. Learn to see, learn to think about what you see, and learn to talk about what you see. I'm sure you're thinking as I once did, but I already know how to see. I've been doing that since I was born. Followed by, and anyway, I see with my eyes, not my brain. It turns out that our eyes are actually part of our brain, and the eye and the brain work together in ways we probably never thought about. Let me explain. You've no doubt learned from the science teacher and from feeling them with your finger that human eyeballs are round and made up of many parts. There's the pupil, that's the black circle, and the iris, the colored circle, that work together to control the amount of light let into the eye. Then there's the retina, the thin layer of tissue that covers the back of the eye and converts images into signals for our brains to organize. The retina is a complicated structure, more like a computer than a simple pathway to the brain. So in fact, it is the brain. In reality, we don't see with our eyes, we see with our brain. Our ability to see and make sense of what we see relies on the brain's incredible processing power, a power that depends entirely on the connections in our brains. Scientists have discovered that when we stop flexing our mental muscles, that their speed and accuracy decrease dramatically. Since our brains control every function of our body, any slowdown in neural processing, aka how our brains process information, will cause a delay in the body's other systems, including how we react to what we see. While slower reflexes and forgetting things are associated with old age, they can also be the result of not exercising our brain enough. Fortunately, the opposite is also true. Since our brains never stop making new connections, no matter how old we are, we can keep them fast and sharp by continually engage them. How do I engage them? By using art. Why art? Art expands the way we see the world and shifts our perspective because everyone's idea of creativity is different. We get to see things, people, and ideas in ways we never would have thought of. Art can transport us to places outside our everyday lives and sometimes out of our own comfort zones. Art inspires conversation, especially when it makes us squirm. Surprisingly, discomfort and uncertainty bring out the very best in our brains. Art gives us all of that and more. In some paintings, we might see women with noses where their eyes should be, clocks dripping from trees, blue horses, and lots of people screaming, like in all of these paintings. Part of the beauty of art, especially the stranger pieces, is that anyone can talk about it, even if you know nothing about art history. In this book, we won't be studying brushstrokes or color or historical periods. We'll simply be using art as visual data, talking about what we see or what we think we see to actually help us see even more. I've been using art to teach people how to see more accurately for 18 years. I've taught senators and Navy SEALs. The Department of the Army hires me to work with officers before they go to the Middle East. Why? Because the Army officers go overseas. They encounter the unexpected and the unknown. Describing what you see in a painting of a figure on a bridge screaming like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, hands on the side of the face, mouth open, eyes bulging, uses the same skill as describing what you see on the first day of school or when you arrive at camp for the very first time. If you can talk about what's happening in a work of art, you can talk about the scenes surrounding your everyday life, anytime, anywhere. So how do we keep training your brain? The longer and more attentively we look at something, the more we will find. Many of the world's greatest thinkers, like Leonardo da Vinci or Steve Jobs, believed that invention was more about recognizing the potential in things than simply creating new stuff. We can uncover exciting possibilities by just opening our eyes, turning on our brains, tuning in, and paying attention. Let's do one more. In honor of our friend Frank Epperson, inventor of the popsicle, and the other incredibly brainy kids who have helped make our world a little sweeter, let's take a look at this work of art. See that work of art? What does it look like? What did it remind you of? Did it look like a popsicle? If you saw a popsicle, did you just remember that Frank Epperson was its inventor and helped make the world a little sweeter? While observing the sculpture, did you think it looked like a brain? If so, it might be because I used the word brainy right before it. The human brain is amazing. As I mentioned, it can heal itself, learn new things, and get smarter every day of our lives. But it's not perfect. We don't have unlimited attention span or flawless memories. Sometimes our brains can even be unintentionally tricked by limited sleep or stress, or by carefully planted word or a recent experience. You've seen how much more powerful your brain can be when you engage it. Now, to unleash our brain's full potential, I hope you'll read the rest of smART. Use your eyes to boost your brain to see how amazing your brain really can be. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy reading smART.